What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and I just stayed up all night playing the Doom beta. I wanted to give you my first impressions and how the game is shaping up so far. First and foremost, this isn't your standard shooter. This is more of a classic FPS being brought to the modern day. There's no reloading, no sprint button, and no chance of getting out alive. In Doom, it's all about grabbing power-ups and using weapons wisely to outkill the other team. For this multiplayer beta, we had 2 modes and 2 maps to play on. Of course, they put in the always popular team deathmatch, but they also included the new game type called Warpath. While Deathmatch is just a straight up brutal race to see who can score more kills, Warpath has you fighting a lot smarter. In this, you're essentially playing King of the Hill, but the zone you need to capture is slowly moving around the map. When your team takes it over, you earn 1 point per second, and the first team to gain 250 points wins. It creates a fun but frantic sense of strategy, because those who are inside the Warpath can only protect it, whereas the people who are trying to capture it can run around the map and pick up all the ridiculous power-ups. These game modes both worked really well, especially because the maps themselves are a little bit smaller. It makes it where you're never having to run to find a kill. You always have somebody who's trying to stop you from accomplishing an objective. At the start, these arenas may seem a little bit too simple until you play a couple matches and you start to discover all their hidden secrets. For example, here I am using my shotgun to try and blast people in the factory. Now if I follow this path downward, I can actually find a power-up that'll increase my damage by 4 times. Or I can use my jump jets to try and climb to the very top of the arena and find armor that will reduce all incoming damage for the remainder of my life. Those who are craving carnage can just stay mid-level and pick people off as they enter the center of the map, and you can wait for the demon rune to spawn. This is by far the best item in the game. It lets you turn into a huge revenant and rain rockets down on your foes. Every 90 seconds, one of these super abilities will appear somewhere on the map, and you can pick it up to try and sway the flow of battle. Winning matches is about more than just teamwork. It's about mastering the crazy futuristic guns and controlling the map to dominate with all the special abilities as they show up. At one point, I was protecting my buddy who was currently using the demon rune to decimate the enemy team. Someone managed to fire a well-timed headshot and absolutely liquefy him. Right as he died, I grabbed the demon rune, turned into the revenant, and jetpacked all the way across the map to capture the warpath and win. Moments like this are so insane, and they stand out from any other shooter I've played. Perhaps what's most unique about the Doom experience is the weapons themselves. When you reach max level in the beta, you'll have access to 7 different guns, and each one is used in a very different style. These may seem like normal guns at first, but they actually have some clever design tricks to them. Let's take a close look at 3 guns in particular so you know what I mean. Right here, I'm using the static rifle. As you can see, my aiming reticle has a meter that's slowly building up the longer I run. The more I travel around the map, the more energy is stored inside my rifle. Move enough and get a headshot, and this shot can instantly fry their brains. For the next weapon, let's take a glance at the lightning gun. One trigger fires a constant beam of energy that hurts your foes. However, if you press the alternate fire, this is a wider beam that actually can jump to nearby foes. This is a skill that's perfect for when you stumble upon a group of enemies standing in a tight hallway, or if people are trying to defend the warpath and you want to cook them. So far, my favorite gun is the Vortex rifle. This thing has a nasty little trick to it. Every second that you keep the scope held up to your eye, it increases the damage of the next bullet fired. The longer you can hold that shot, the bigger damage it'll do. In fact, you can one-shot people, so sometimes just standing in a far-off corner, hiding and taking people out in the middle of a room can be absolutely devastating. Doom seems to be the type of game that wants you to play the game the way you want. If you're the type of person who likes to stay up in people's faces and do executions, that's totally possible. Just bring a shotgun and keep stacking up armor. If instead you're the kind of person who loves utter chaos, you can grab the rocket launcher and just blow everything up, while also carrying life-sucking grenades to keep yourself healthy. Overall, I really only have one small complaint with the game as it currently is. There's a lot of animations in this game that feel like they happen way too slow. When I get in close and I'm trying to rip somebody's head off with my bare hands, this can actually be cool, but it's held back by the fact that this animation can take 3 incredibly long seconds, or at least that's what it feels like, and during that whole time I'm defenseless. The other bad thing is if you bump the directional pad, it will automatically taunt. Once you start doing one of these funny little dances, it's unable to be stopped. I must have died 10 or 20 times from actually getting caught in an execution animation that I didn't mean to do. Why can't we have that be a separate button? That way I know if I'm going to be meleeing somebody or if I'm going to be ripping their head off. As a whole, this gameplay is amazing and I really look forward to seeing how it plays at launch. How about you guys? Did you guys play the Doom beta? What did you think of it? Let me know. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. This has been DreamcastGuy with another review. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends.